Happy Samhain, it's the Witch's New Year. We're going to go ahead and do a reading specifically for twin flames, for the divine feminine, for the divine masculine, to see what is going on. And tomorrow is, of course, All Saints Day. The second is All Souls Day. The Day of the Dead also falls between those 2 days too. So this is a powerful gateway where across many cultures, many are celebrating during this time and using it to connect to the other side as the veil is really, really thin. This also kicks off on the wheel of the year, us taking us into the darker part of the year. However, we can really, really use this. So it's an amazing time if you want to connect with loved ones in spirit or even ancestors on the other side. It's a great time to light a candle or to just celebrate as we're moving through this different turning point right now. So powerful energies at play. This means that you're going to probably be getting a lot of direct downloads about your twin flame situation. Just kind of depends. So right now is an amazing time to heal and release ancestral patterns and things that have been holding you back that are coming from the ancestral line specifically too. As the veil is really, really thin, you can kind of tap in more easily and of course get more information about your situation and clarity. But let's just see what is going on with you and your twin flame. We're just going to do a quick reading. I just wanted to get on here and say hi, happy holiday for those that are celebrating. Even if you're not celebrating, you're feeling these energies. This is meant to be a positive thing, by the way, as we're moving through some of these gateways. So a powerful spiritual gateway that we're moving through. I've also brought some ancestral cards to kind of see what is going on. Okay, so, and remember, this is just a general collective reading, but I also love to put up these videos to help you on your journey, just so in case you're getting something out of it. But remember, this is just a general reading. If you need a one-on-one reading, make sure that you're booking me on my website, sparksofdivinelighealing.com. I have tons of amazing stuff up for today for everyone, and I also have stuff up for the next couple of days. You can do anything on my website all of the time anyways. Go with what you're guided to. So only take what resonates for your specific situation as we are doing this reading. I always remind you, if you're needing a one-on-one reading, I do tons of reading for twin flames and of course twin flame coaching through my website. Just book me on there. Okay, amazing time to be doing healing, clearing, and activation work as the veil is really, really thin. It can really, really impact us better. We want to be using these gateways for doing healing work as well too. Now, because we can be a little bit more psychically sensitive during this time, sometimes we have, I don't want to go there, but problems sleeping, right? We might be a little bit tired right now, not sleeping great. We might be feeling the energies. However, we can really make this work for us too, because it is a great time to be doing activation or energy work. I have a bunch up for the next couple of days, but let's see what's going on. Okay, this is something that has been fated to play out with you. This is something bigger than you and it's destined. And I love this because we're here to heal anything keeping us apart or anything keeping us in separation or in separation programming through this connection. Now, and I'm going to put this out there, I'm not going to be popular. Twin flame is not meant to be a toxic connection. It's actually meant to be a divine connection. However, oftentimes we're holding on to a lot of stuff. So this is something where you're meant to actually heal karmically and heal the karmic memory that might be coming up in your relationships or in your connection so that you can anchor into full union. If it's not going great, usually this leads to separation and both of you kind of having to work on yourself solo so that you can heal any of the issues. It just kind of depends too. No matter what is happening for you with your person right now, with this person, your twin flame, it is meant to be going that way. As I say, every season kind of serves a purpose too, but there's something so much bigger than you playing out in your life, and you might be kind of realizing that as you're going through this spiritual awakening. And the second maybe your twin flame has entered the picture, it's kind of shaken things up for you, and this is a good thing. It might be having you questioning old beliefs, healing old karmic patterns or even karmic beliefs, and this is meant to be helping you to heal any root issues or underlying issues or patterns that you're still holding on to. So this is like a really, really good message. This is akin to my Wheel of Fortune card, which is like one of my favorite in the deck. I always say it's like literally things coming around. If you've been putting in the healing work, you've been trying to be a better person, you've been working on yourself, you're going to really, really see those results and coming into your reality and paying off in a really, really big way. So you were meant to meet this person, just as you're meant to meet most of the people that you've had soul contracts with. Now, during this time, this is a huge time for the soul contracts in your life. Some of you guys might still have karmic connections that are, I say, holding you back, or that you've outgrown, or that you've learned the lesson from. This is becoming obvious as we're moving through the Soulmate Gateway. Also, this is a really powerful time for those of you guys, not everyone is, but for those of you guys in separation, you're probably going to be telepathically thinking about this person. You're always communicating anyway via your thoughts and what you're thinking. They're always kind of receiving that or receiving those signals of energy. And it's a really powerful time for them to reach out, or for many to be coming into reunion. Now, I love the Soulmate Gateway because it's actually preparing us for, I don't want to say, tomorrow is November. And of course, we're going to go into the 11/11 portal, which is very, very powerful for twin flames. And that's only really 12 days away. So right now is kind of helping us to shift into this higher trajectory, vibration, higher timelines to help anchor us into this and prepare us for that gateway. You're going to see some huge shifts happening. Now, of course, this is the darker part of the year, but it helps us to connect more. That's why we can really tap in and tune into the spiritual more. It becomes more obvious in that space. So this is something that is meant to be going the way it is. You're meant to be with this person. It might have been obvious meeting them. For some of you are with this person. There's a lot that's going to play out in November for you that is destined to happen. This is a good thing if you feel, and I always describe separation, it's not meant to happen. We normalize it like it's a stage. Okay, everyone goes through it. No, it just means that the energies were not able to balance in that way. So look at separation as needing to balance the energies, maybe between you and your twin flame, or just within yourself more. And so it is meant to help you to balance energetically more so that you can come into a greater harmony with this person. But I don't think it's meant to happen. So the good news for those people that are navigating that is you're going to see a lot of timeline corrections and course corrections that are going to happen for you in November in a really, really positive way that's going to bring you closer to your union. Many of you guys are in union, and I see a lot of amazing things that are happening. Some of you guys are talking about like that next stage, that next level, whatever it looks like for you in these unions and really anchoring in these higher frequencies. Now, twin flames have a challenging time on the planet. We see more twin flames than ever before on the planet right now. But for those of you guys that are in union, you're really anchoring these ascension energies in too. And so it can feel like, you know, some of you guys are feeling maybe a little bit of fatigue during this gateway. And I just refer to this gateway as the next couple of days, right? So we're going to kind of move through these energies. So you might be feeling a little bit of fatigue. Some of you guys have been maybe feeling a little burnout lately. Someone told me they were kind of in hermit mode lately, and I was like, that's not a bad place to be. But you might be kind of feeling that as we're moving through the energies. Okay, some of you guys feel bad about how things went, like you didn't make the best choices. Okay, maybe you owe this person an apology, or you feel they owe you an apology, and it's coming. Like you feel kind of bad about how things went. And I was just kind of reminding you that things have gone as they need to. And people will be like, why? Okay, twin flame can be obviously a very high frequency energy. It can be a little implosive if unstable, and you guys can figure that out. Like it can go from great to like, okay, very, very fast, because it's a very strong, intense energy. Now, if you've had problems, blocks, challenges, obstacles come up, some of these things might have. Twin flames face these things even more, because when we're in a normal karmic connection, your previous connections, yes, we're meant to heal something within that connection and to work on certain things. Twin flame is such a higher level though, that you might notice that you've had a lot come up because you can't hold the old, I call it garbage, the old stuff, the old energies in this higher frequency union. It's bound to be stirred up or triggered to the surface, okay? And so sometimes we're holding on to a lot of things. It's helping you to unpack that baggage and to release deep seated blocks and wounds that you've been kind of carrying around or playing out in your previous relationships that might have kind of come up somehow in this connection. It is meant to encourage you to hopefully work on yourself and kind of work on some of these patterns if they're holding you back. So I love the Somain Gateway. It's technically the witch's new year, but we're going into a new cycle of energy or a new season of energy, which helps us to release the old and to really shift into this higher frequency, which we're needing to do. Some of you guys have had some karmic energies that are coming up. Now, this could be literally like, and I don't want to say with your twin flame, hopefully it's karmic stuff. Some of you guys in the past, you've been through like actual, and this could be for many different reasons, like court, it could be divorce, child stuff. Some of you guys not so much. It could literally just be clearing a karmic cycle in your life for those of you guys that this does not resonate with, that you've been releasing a lot of old cycles. Some of these cycles are tied to your ancestral lineage and clearing out old pain, old wounds, old blocks that have really been kind of traveling through your family line for a really long time. So you're clearing out some type of karmic cycle. Now, this isn't for everyone, because when I'm getting this message, hopefully it's rooted more in your past and maybe with karmics that you've gone through some of this stuff, or you're needing to go through some of this stuff and there might be something you need to resolve. But with your twin flame, you've cleared a karmic cycle with them. And this isn't for everyone, but if you have ended up in separation, that's the end of the cycle. And reunion begins the new cycle, okay? And some of you guys might have done a couple cycles with this person, or you might have recently completed a karmic cycle with this person to heal something karmically. And usually this is like screaming old karmic patterns, old karmic wounds, things that you kind of need to go a little deeper into. This person might have triggered some of those things to the surface. Sometimes our twin flame can trigger all of our relationship baggage and karma to the surface unintentionally by how things are kind of going. So good news, you're really cleaning up a lot karmically. And this could look like, you know, you're going so much higher because as you are releasing an old wound or an old block, you know, you're really leveling up in so many different ways. So I want to see, and I've pulled 2 piles of cards here so that I want to take a deeper look at what might be going on for you and your twin flame. And let's just kind of see what is going on, okay? Okay. So for the person watching this video, we're going to do you first and see what is going on for you. And then let's look at your twin flame really fast. Okay, you're fed up in some way. You might have, and this isn't for everyone, you might have been the one to quit, walk away, or go runner. Now, I've been on both sides of that dynamic, right? And so things flip. I'm always reminding you guys, like, if you have been the person where, and this is usually how it goes, it depends. Maybe your twin flame has first gone into that runner pattern, which is like blowing you off, avoidance. For some, it's even more extreme. It's like maybe sometimes it's like really going into that. It could be dating someone else or not being ready for union or whatever it is. That's the runner pattern. They might have started out a little bit more strongly in that runner pattern, and everything flips karmically in life, like literally. So you may be on both sides of that dynamic. So if they've started out going runner, ultimately you could later, like things could flip, okay? And so when you might have gotten to that point, it just kind of depends, where you're getting kind of fed up with them in some type of way. You might be kind of done with their behavior. Something might have come up. You're being guided to cut your karmic cords right now, that this might be influencing things, or if there's been that kind of situation that this might be why. Now, I believe we can't cut cords or the connection with our twin flame, and that when we try, it can actually sometimes lead to very painful energy. This is a spiritual connection. Most twin flames end up together, but there can be, of course, special circumstances, just kind of depending on what, okay? But I always hold faith or the belief that you're meant to come into union with this person. Doesn't matter what circumstances have come up, what's kind of going on with it or whatever, but you might feel a little bit fed up with this, and you might be going into the runner pattern. Now, I kind of went into this, it could be triggered by they have first, and it could be like an ego thing, or maybe they haven't, and it's you've always been a little bit like that, and like, you know, resisting getting too close with people, or a little bit avoidant yourself. I feel we all have those kind of anxious avoidant wounds, call them wounds, right, that we kind of need to face and work on, or whatever it is too. So you might be guided to kind of do a cord cutting right now not for your twin flame, but for previous karmic connections or just in general life. Like, I love to do this all the time. Okay, like, you know, we're always connecting with people. We want to make sure that we're also disconnecting. And that's what cord cutting is. It helps us to disconnect in a healthy way so that, you know, we're done interacting, but we don't want the cords to remain. This is why you guys know I'm a little weird about how I connect with people, just so I can keep my energy right. And I think that's okay to be like that, right? And so you're being guided to just make sure that you're keeping your energy very clear right now, and then releasing any old cords that still might. Now, usually we don't notice, like we think we're good until the twin flame comes in, and then things can get triggered in our field, or, you know, the old things can come online, or they were already there. It just kind of depends. You have a little bit of shame energy coming up. When we deal with shame, this is the solar plexus. Okay, I very strongly connect shame energy from childhood trauma and childhood experiences and old experiences. It just kind of depends. So maybe you had, I was gonna say, a little bit of a dysfunctional family. I was kind of calling it that this morning, a little bit of a dysfunctional family dynamic. And so you might be someone who is, even though obviously you're done with your childhood or, you know, your earlier stages in life, this could have affected your internal programming, how you're wired up energetically, and you're kind of sensitive in your solar plexus. You might have been very sensitive in your family unit, or you might have been, I was kind of saying like the scapegoated child. They might not have been great with you. It just kind of goes down to many different things. So you are, through this twin flame dynamic, healing some old childhood trauma. Now, sometimes this isn't obvious. It's more internalized negative beliefs and how we feel about ourselves. I do a lot of talking about like healing our confidence and low self-esteem so that we can have healthier connections, and that we are not unintentionally bringing that into the relationship dynamic. So if we feel very strongly in a negative way about ourselves, whatever belief it is, sometimes that can be mirrored back through the connection. Twin flame teaches us that self-love and healing is so important too, in an important pinnacle to having a healthier connection too. So you're being guided to really take care of your solar plexus right now. If you have old energies, wounds or stuff coming up, some of these could even be on a childhood dynamic. Okay, so, and I'll go into this, sometimes we love to sabotage our connections. Oftentimes I find sabotaging patterns are very connected to our inner child coming out in a very unhealed kind of way. So it's important that we're also taking care of these aspects. Okay, so some of you guys have some issues that have come up with this person. Yes, this is for the person watching this still, and then we're going to do your twin flame. Some of you guys might have had a little bit of disagreement with this person. There are trust issues. So for some of you know very strongly, yeah, I have a hard time trusting people. If you're an elemental, raise your hand. Okay, this is very fairy energy. Okay, this is very... Okay, you might have trust issues, and the reason why sometimes can go once again back down to childhood issues or even past relationship issues and things like that, or you might just be wired up like that. We're talking about that, right? So because of that, when I see people very strongly with trust issues, then sometimes, you know, you're having a lot of negative thoughts about things. Maybe they're true, maybe not, but it can have the potential to seep into your relationship, creating more issues, as we are manifesting a lot of this too. So this might make you a little bit detached or even suspicious. I was describing trust issues as waiting for something bad to happen. And when we're waiting for something to happen in a negative light, sometimes unintentionally we can manifest these things if we're sitting around thinking about them, or we're always kind of looking at things through a negative lens, whether this is true or not. And so this can cause, when I see trust issues, sometimes jealousy, control issues, you know what I mean, and things like that too. Now, I find that your twin flame is your perfect match. They're your yin to your yang, okay? Like, they're your perfect match because they're oftentimes wired up in a very different way too. Now, because of this, this might make you a little bit detached from the connections at time, and that's okay. You might be healing some type of root core issue around that, or core wound. And now only take what resonates for you. But if you are healing that, this is coming up for the person watching this video, this person might be triggering these things even more too. Like you might be like, yeah, I know I've had some issues with this. If this is like something currently coming up, kind of pay attention to it during this time. This is a sacral thing too, because we need to really have more confidence and faith, obviously in our partners, but obviously in the universe as well too. So sometimes I feel this goes a little bit deeper with these kind of issues. You are beautiful. This is like my, you are high value. You are the Empress. You need to see the energy that you bring to the table. You know what I mean? That kind of energy is literally like this beautiful, abundant, confident energy and radiating and getting into it. If you are a woman, because it depends, it's total goddess energy, right? If you're the masculine, total god energy and shifting into that higher energy and embodying it. Now, maybe sometimes you don't even see that about yourself. Perhaps you're a really good manifester. Right? And that can be a double-edged sword, as I'm always saying too, right? Perhaps you're a really strong manifester. Maybe you're someone who can multiply things very easily. You know, you can get things done, that like boss energy, right? But in a very, this is a feminine energy, even if it's a man watching, okay? This is like really embracing that feminine flow of energy and like tapping into that. This is like seeing your worth, seeing that you are amazing as is. Yes, I believe in healing and purifying and continuing to work on ourselves, but also see how powerful and beautiful and amazing you are. Okay, so let's see what's going on for your twin flame. This person, back to the person watching the video, you need to just kind of work on, you know, hyping yourself up and really stepping into that higher version of yourself. You're already there, but changing your lens and like seeing it and believing it. Okay, we're gonna do the other person. Let's do the other side. I call it the other side of this. There's like two sides, the yin to the yang, one whole, but we're trying to bring them together. So this person is hurting. Your twin flame is hurting. They might mask it well, they might hide it well. And sometimes it depends because everyone's going to be watching this, but especially if they are, it won't be for everyone, but some of them might be the masculine. If they are, they might be really used to like, I got it, I'm fine. If they're not feeling great energetically, they might withdraw, pull back, go into avoidance pattern. It just kind of depends. But some of them, obviously, men will be watching this too. They're not feeling great. They're in pain. They are feeling it. They're under pressure. And they're really, really feeling this painful energy that has surfaced or is still surfacing, and they're trying to deal with some things within themselves. They might be a little bit depressed. For some, they're not living life. Like since this twin flame connection came in, and this is huge because such a healing is happening that I see this very common for twin flames. Like they're not really living life. If they were someone that was like really working and thriving and doing whatever, had all these hobbies and were very social, none of that is happening. They literally are at that withdrawal kind of energy, you know, kind of withdrawing into themselves, trying to figure things out and not really happy. So they're still purging out some lower frequency energies from within themselves. This is deep. We purge things out on the physical level, but really we're spiritually healing. We're healing our soul. So things can kind of come to the surface. So just know they're going through it. Okay, so if you've been going through it and you're like, okay, I know how that feels at times, they're mirroring your emotions at times. This is why it's so important that at least one of the, well, both have to do the work, but if you're clearing your energy more, this will really, really help, okay? If you're someone that's resonating with that, like you've been having a lot of intense emotions, make sure you're clearing your energy so it's not being fed into the cords of the twin flame connection and that they're not picking up on that energy. Now, not everyone is in separation, but especially in separation, even apart, you are exchanging so much energy and things like that too. So make sure that you're keeping your energy clear to help with your side of the equation, as I call it. Okay, this isn't for everyone, but some of you guys have had to navigate like not a lot of communication, like maybe they shut off communication and there was no contact. For some, it's extreme. There's like the blocked silent treatment, completely cut off. And then maybe some of you guys are still in that, some like not even having any contact with this person. But some of you guys, they've come back in, but they're still, you know, they're giving you a little bit, but not a lot. Like, right? It's like little interactions, but not a lot. Now, for some of you guys have gone through that separation stage. You might have had distance. You might have had an actual breakup or like fight or something that's gone on. Only take what resonates for you though. If you resonate with that, that's like, they're still feeling it. Okay, so for some of you guys, you need to see both sides of things. You might be very strongly in your narrative or your view, and you're not really seeing their view too, and it will really help you if you can to get a better outcome. So make sure you're kind of seeing their perspective too. Really, you're going through such a similar journey, and you're going through a journey together with this healing. Both twin flames are healing so much. Even if you feel, some people feel they're not awake or whatever, they are. Yes, they tap in, they tune in, they know the connection, they know a lot of what's going on. So just know that, because sometimes you're like, I don't know, this might be all in my head. Like, right, we try to think of it like a 3D connection, but it really isn't. Okay, so for this person, back to you. Feel loved right now. Really make sure that you're feeling loved and that you're feeling really, really positive about your situation, no matter what is happening. If you can do that, even in a negative situation, you can flip it, you can shift it. That is exactly the key that you need to shift things to. So make sure that you're staying positive. For those in separation, make sure that you're visualizing union to really speed things up and bring it in. If you're having negative thoughts about the person or the connection, you have to transmute these. You have to clear these. And of course, there's no time stamp on this. It's just however long you need to do that and shift things. A lot of twin flames have had to deal with a lot of negative energy between the connection, especially as there can be a lot of confusion. If, you know, someone has abandoned the connection, tried to run, they're just slowing it down. And a lot of intense emotions can come up. It doesn't matter what has happened. You can clear and heal this stuff, and you're gonna, okay? So it doesn't matter like how it looks physically right now. Just know that you can heal anything, okay? For those of you guys that are in union, you're feeling a ton of love energy. You might be back in that love bubble, like literally where you were in the beginning. Like you might have had to go through a lot. Like I'm picturing like some of you guys have been in the love bubble, you've done separations and really been pushed to your limit. You've gone through the trials and the tests and like everything, and you're together, you're in union. You're in these higher frequencies, and you're really anchoring that in, and you're probably back in that love bubble, like you're feeling it. You have these moments where it feels amazing lately, so kind of stay on that high. Okay, sacrifice. What can you let go of? And these are the ancestor cards. Are you holding on to things from your lineage or your family? This could be literally old wounds. Like I still have them to this day. And we're working on it. It's a work in progress. So you might have some very deep karmic wounds that go farther back to like family or old stuff or past traumas. And, you know, whatever it is you're dealing with, and that is okay. Once you're aware of it, you can really, really transmute these things. You're really here to heal these things karmically. So you might still be holding on to things from your past, your family line, and this could also be blocks that have gone down. Now, for people watching this, if you're a woman, go back to your mother's lineage. Have you picked up some of her emotions or problems? And I mean, like now, maybe you've been through them hopefully in the past, but are they still playing out in your life? Like it seeped a little too into you. For the men watching, have you picked up some things from your masculine father's line where some of these things are still active, or you had to go through some of these problems? And we can see this in many ways karmically. It could be like health challenges, it could be financial things, it could be relationship things and stuff like that, okay? So just kind of taking a look, especially anything still active in our field. And sometimes we're like, no, I'm great, but how do you feel about these people now? like, do you still have some issues, some energies to deal with? Because oftentimes this is what we're dealing with in our relationships too. So for the women, how do you feel about your own father line, masculine line? Were there issues there growing up? How was that connection? Because this is actually playing out in your romantic template with your masculine partner. For the men watching this, how do you feel about your mother? Was the connection amazing, or were there some issues there? This might still be playing out with your divine feminine in some type of way, okay? So being guided to heal both sides of the lineage. Okay, we have phenomenon. Be still and listen to the spirits. I love this time of year. Everyone's like, it's so negative, and I'm like, all right, anyways, but like, this is an amazing time to hang out and connect with your ancestors and loved ones. If you're feeling that and you're a little, sometimes that's programming and things like that. We've seen all the horror movies and stuff like that, and I'm not into that either. Anyways, I cannot watch stuff like that. I'll have bad dreams, I always say, and stuff like that. So we've had a lot of like programming. This is actually a time where we should be connecting with the loved ones in spirit. Now, and I was going into this a lot this morning, just myself and my own life. We are always corded to everyone that we have connected with. If you've lost a loved one and they're in spirit and they're crossed over, you're still corded to them, especially if it's like a parent, a grandparent, someone from your ancestral line, a lover, whatever it is. Those cords remain so that you're able to connect with them energetically. They are here oftentimes guiding you. And now, while they walk among us, the spirit in our world during this time, we walk in theirs. Sometimes we don't realize that we're literally, the veil is gone. We're in between like dimensions right now. So you're literally like kind of like 1 foot in the spirit world, 1 foot in our world, and vice versa. You might be having loved ones come through, and this should make you feel better that love never dies. And this is something that we can take into the twin flame equation as well too, that this connection doesn't go anywhere. It literally reincarnates, it goes to the other side with you. It's a powerful connection, and that's what we're learning too. It just changes form just as we do too. So this is an amazing time to be connecting with either your spirit guides or even loved ones in spirit, and to be clearing out ancestral problems, I call them, and patterns. And we're doing that like never before, because we didn't have the tools to do that when we were asleep. Now that we're waking up, we have the tools to kind of heal these things. Okay, compassion for others. Make sure you're having that for your twin flame. Some of you guys are so hard on yourself and on your twin flame. Make sure that you're really seeing their point of view. That's what empathy is to really see and feel their point of view. Make sure that you're being compassionate. They're hurting too. We've talked about that, okay? Like if you're hurting especially. Okay, we have this father energy coming through. Doesn't surprise me. We already kind of covered that, so I don't want to go too into it. Maybe there's some type of father wounds that you had. I have a lot of people that do deal with this in the twin flame equation, where, you know, you could have been playing that out in some type of karmic way with some of your partners, where they might have reflected these wounds or triggered them in some type of way. And so this can be really, really challenging. You're healing something within your masculine energies, and this is being reflected by the healing work your own divine masculine is doing. They're doing this work with you, okay? If you are the divine masculine, once again, you're clearing out these wounds that have come from your own father line, okay? And really shifting into the divine masculine energy. Wounded masculine energy is controlling and not healthy. And shifting into that healed masculine energy, you are that leader, that provider, that protector. You know, you're really amazing energy. Just know that. There's still some type of betrayal or heartbreak that you're healing from, and usually from your past. Like you have old wounds. It's got the 3 daggers. Okay, I always think of it like previous relationship wounds. You can take that as it was. Now, some of you guys, yes, this can be a third party card. I'm not going into that again today. If you're in a third party situation, you know it. It could be something karmic that you're dealing with from your side. It could be created by fear. It could be the runner pattern. It could just be old loose ends that you guys didn't plan on meeting, like, right? And there could have been like old, you know, loose ends. This person might have been dilly-dallying, and they might not have shifted into union when they should have, and the universe may have sent a karmic as a catalyst. It just kind of depends. That's why I say to do the one-on-one work with you. So when we have a third party situation, everyone thinks it's great, you know, but usually they get someone kind of, I said terrible. Okay, I was trying to explain this. I'm like, you know, they might think they met the one, but they already know you're the one. So it's like, so there's many reasons that can happen, but it really pushes you guys to go deeper within the connections. Like twin flame is all about unconditional love and clearing out negative energy. So obviously it's going to stir up things like jealousy and control and all this stuff hidden in the shadow realm. Now, this isn't for everyone, but some of you guys have had to navigate that. And so, you know, powerful deep work for those of you guys that are, but for most, this is just old wounds are surfacing. You still have some heart chakra stuff. You might be feeling it from the collective. We talked about your ancestral line and, you know, past hurts that you've been through, past traumas and things like that too, okay? So healing your heart chakra, I keep saying that, but it's literally like the energy that we're in right now, connecting with the dead, right? Yes. Okay, especially your loved ones. They are your biggest allies in the spiritual. For those of you guys that have lost a loved one close to you, you know that they really protect you, look after you, act as spirit gatekeepers. They help you so, so much, okay? They can send you all of that ancestral wisdom. So this is a time to be kind of, and I have a lot of activations on my site for this, activating ancestral wisdom, healing your connections, great energies for this, because the veil is thin, we can see things more clear. We might not like that. We can feel psychically sensitive and painful energy, but it helps us to clear that out so much better and kind of give us a good eye for it. Okay, so we have the Queen of Swords in reverse. So there's a block here on the Divine Feminine side. This is something from the past you're not letting go. Now, this is a twin flame reading, so just be mindful. Now, I just want to put it out there. Sometimes this could be anger, and our body is like a whole blueprint. That's another conversation. Now, this could be anger is stored a lot of times in our solar plexus. It could affect things like our kidney, our liver, whatever. This could be with your twin flame, or it could be repressed emotions. Like if you didn't have an outlet for that in childhood and you had a lot of stuff going on, or it could be with the twin flame from the situation. Now, this is like it's the opposite of, because there's a blocked energy, of being optimistic, okay? You might be a little bit pessimistic about the situation. You may feel hopeless, or, it's doomed kind of energy, or it's the lens that we see things through. You might be not letting things go with your twin flame. Something may have come up and you're holding on to it and needing to let go of something. It could have been an old cycle we were talking about. It could have been something that came up. It could have been a disagreement. And it's like needing to let go of this energy. You're meant to be working as a team, and you are, whether you see that or not. You literally are, and I hate saying this, but I know it. On the higher monad, you are literally one soul. And so you actually, before you just came to earth, you decided to divvy up the karma. You literally took it and split it in half, and they've played it out in their lessons, and you've played the other half out, and it goes together. And so sometimes we can't see that. Like your lessons actually go hand in hand, and they go together. And you might see that with a lot of the mirroring. Now, you're meant to come together in union and start to really work together. Now, some of you guys actually work with your twin flame. This isn't for everyone, it's a small group. Some of you guys actually work with your twin flame. You might not even be their lover yet. I can name like tons of twin flames like this. You might not even be their lover yet. You might be like a coworker. You might have met them at work. And just take this for the group that it's for. And that's because you're working towards union, and you're meant to be around them because the upgrades are intense, and you're meant to kind of shift into that role as well too. You're very important if you are working with them, that you are supposed to meet them or work around them so that you see each other a lot, okay? Now, back to the message for the people that doesn't resonate with. So you're supposed to be working. Some of you guys have like the hand-in-hand ideas where like some of you guys are meant to be but some of you guys are at that level where you're meant to be working with each other, coming together to do some type of shared mission or healing work or helping the planet. We have a lot happening in one place collectively. You might have ideas of how to help the planet, how to help the collective, how to help people one-on-one, and it could be in many different areas and things like that. And this is like supporting each other, working together, and coming into union. Some of you guys are going to be launching projects and business ideas and figuring out how to manifest together and manifest more abundance and like live your dream life and your purpose. We're here to live our purpose. We're here to figure out what that is, and it's going to really bring a lot of positive energy. If you are someone that's already doing that and like you're like me, you're on mission already, you've been doing that a long time, they're going to be very supportive of you on that mission. They might have ideas for you. They might see your blind spots and give you ideas. Maybe they are someone that is the other person doing business stuff, or you are, vice versa. You guys are going to have a lot of really, really good ideas. They might resist that at first, but you're going to be able to really, really help them in some way of like up-leveling their business, or if you're in the business. So that's not for everyone. Some of you guys are just meant to be doing this healing work solo, knowing that it comes together as that whole. Okay, we got the yin and the yang, right? Each of you are working on yourself, knowing that it comes together on such a bigger level. So make sure that you know that you are literally a team with this person. Sometimes we have this masculine feminine divide, or different divides for different reasons. I talk a lot about that. We're meant to heal any wounds of separation so that we can come together into that space of oneness. Make sure that you're working on your healing right now. Have a beautiful day. I have amazing stuff up on my website for the next couple of days. If you need me, just go ahead and book me on there, sparksofdivinelighealing.com. Have a beautiful day. Happy Halloween.